Coming for our first poet of the final segment, please welcome Janice Window.
Good evening. I'm going to have to read this poem about a very serious topic, divorce. How I've avoided adding to the serious divorce figures in this country in recent years. I've been a true and faithful wife to every husband that I've had. I've promised to devote my life through thick and thin, through good and bad, but only while this rule applies. What I decide shall be, and there a problem lies. When Johnny led me down the aisle, and with a manly, loving smile, agreed that he would have and hold me, I loved him then. But they never told me I'd have to iron 8 shirts a week. And when I ventured, can we speak about this imposition on my valuable time, dear John insisted this was what he'd meant when opting for the sacrament. As a blunt instrument, the iron was great. John's status quickly changed to late. My second love was handsome Dave. Before we married, he would rave about the cute and charming way I spent our weekends, how I lay in bed expecting cups of tea and tasty meals to come to me. 1 week past our honeymoon, I found that Dave had changed his tune. "Get up," he said, "and bring me eggs, bacon and toast. Come on, you do have legs." I went downstairs. I laid a tray. I brought Dave's last meal up that day. I even made an appetizer. Grapefruit laced with fertilizer. Sliced thinly, chopped and barbecued. He flushed quite neatly down the loo. An optimist, I've tried and tried. Again I made a blushing bride. But Lee said, "This house is quite disgusting. Don't you ever do the dusting?" I got a broom and hit him hard. He's buried up there in the yard. And number 4 is also pushing daisies. Me do the gardening? The man was crazy. And when it came to number 5, his weakness showed up on a drive. When I drove through red traffic lights, he rudely said that wasn't right. While he checked underneath the bonnet, I found the accelerator, stepped on it, and drove him into paradise. Okay, I know it wasn't nice, but now I'm in an awful fix. I need to find mate number 6. I think perhaps a poet will be what I need. I don't anticipate disaster. We'll live happily ever after. But should he ever criticize my writing, my sharp pen between his eyes will drive him into husband heaven, and then I'll have to look for number 7. I'm going to stay on relationships between men and women. This is another angle. Men as spaceships, women as the planets they land on. It's called Thy Name is Frailty. Daughters of Diana, hunters and quarry, we spread our nets across the surfaces of planets where our radar has swept and found the marks of men in transit. They are always ready for our soft traps. Show us their tattoos, where mother rules okay across their heaving muscles. Tamed for her, they moderate their war chants, do the washing up, not just the drying. Hold back the easy fart, the sudden spurt. Search with their penis-pointed ships among our tangled motives. But always they fear their warp drive will fail to give them liftoff, and they'll be doomed to stay forever hoovering and changing nappies. I'm going to change the mood a bit. Like everybody else, I've been watching the news, very concerned about the Japanese situation, and these 3 little haikus really make up one short poem. It's called bitter spring. Out of the mud, disembodied hands and feet, my dead neighbours. Aid comes, tied up with UK red tape. Return to sender. Cherry blossom late. Debris in the leafless trees forecasts bitter spring. It's getting a little bit sombre. This is called Patchwork. A stitch in time holds together the frayed edges of the moment. I'm stepping carefully, looking back, avoiding the needles that tack the hours to the days to the years. This garment that I wear is becoming less becoming, more threadbare. The bright rags and scraps of it fading, no longer joined seamlessly. Time seeming to unpick patchwork of my life. This is a memory. It was going to be a Christmas poem, but that day in December last year, all I could think of was Brussels sprouts when I thought of Christmas. But something else did come to mind. It's called Spoons. In the warm kitchen, the sprouts bubble. The tiny potatoes I scrubbed in icy water simmer under tipped lid. The windows frost with steam. Henry weaves his striped tail, circles persuasively, expectantly. My grandmother carves that duck. I set the table and feel important. My grandfather pushes up striped sleeves under his red armbands and picks up a pair of spoons in his veiny, knobbled fingers. Against the chattering timpani of simmering pans, he clatters and clacks, metal on knee and bony elbow. He's singing, underneath the arches, to my wide-eyed stare. I can't remember the taste of duck, but a taste of amazement lingers that such music was created that far-off Sunday from such ordinary things. And my last poem is a love poem. It's called You Are Beautiful. Speak to me gently. Let your soft lips wander and graze across my cool breast, finding at the tip, erect and dark, a nipple that for you is all the food of love. Speak softly to me, and your mantra will open the gate, and I shall fall back defenseless, and in my surrender I shall be truly beautiful.
That was Janice Window. Fantastic. Now